Hi, do you love horses? Because at Cavago Stories, we love horses. We love them a lot. We'll be talking to notable and amazing equestrian personalities from around the world. Our podcast, Cavago Stories, is on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can subscribe now or write to us at support@mycavago.com. That's support@mycavago.com. May the horse be with you. Hi, I'm Tauseef and I am the founder and CEO of Cavago, a horse company for the horse world, by the horse world. We're harnessing technology to make the horse experience front and center. I'm so delighted to speak to Caroline, who I am a huge fan of, and she has been so inspirational to help Cavago achieve some early milestones. She is such a pleasure to work with, and I could not thank her enough for being part of this journey and being literally side by side with me on this journey. Caroline, so glad to speak to you.
I blush, Tauseef, I blush. Well, I'm a fan of yours too, and I'm very happy to be here to talk a little bit about the host experience, I think, on Cavago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Caroline, you've traveled around the world, and you've ridden so many different horses. I know we met in Portugal, but you've ridden in France, you've ridden in the United States, South America, the whole world, really. What really excites you about the possibilities of Cavago?
Oh, what's amazing to me is exactly the possibilities. The fact that all of a sudden, in our work of uncovering those really cool, those hidden gems that you can find all over the world, it's happened to me. You know, with my work. I travel through the world and I discover new places and I'm like, oh my God, they have this there. I can actually go to, I don't know, say India. I can actually do this sport. So really what I find the most exciting from my point of view is really to see that all these places, all these things that a rider may have in their head, it's actually accessible. You see great images of a breed online and you dream of it and you're like, oh, I wonder what it feels to ride this or that horse. Well, you can. And on Cavago, it's actually easy to find because that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're doing is making those places come to the surface and help people find what their dream is. For example, imagine you're stuck at your yard and you're turning, you don't feel your progress and you really want to feel what it feels like to soar over a higher jump or get this incredible dressage feeling that you just can't get to with your own horse or at home. And then on Cavago, you can find a place where you can do this pretty easily, honestly.
It's interesting you say that. I've obviously living in the Middle East. I've always loved riding Arabian horses, and riding them is a different experience to, say, riding a Lusitano, a quarter horse, or even a Peruvian Paso for that matter. I've been lucky enough to ride some of these breeds, but I still continue to be mesmerized, amazed by the global horse culture with 500 plus breeds of horses and a culture that associates with each of them. It's still a drop in the ocean for us to experience the different horses and what they represent to us. I think it's really special.
It is, and they all, the way they're trained differently, each one of them, and with their own physical abilities. You have the heavies, you have the big warm bloods that have those big movements. And recently, I've tried something completely new for me. I'm a dressage rider, and I've tried a little polo, and all of a sudden you sit on these little Ferrari type horses that are super reactive and quick and very, very nimble. And I thought it was amazing. And you know, I still have a lot to learn before I'm able to handle a mallet properly. But just getting into this experience to me was fantastic, and that's what we want to bring to Cavago guests is you know, experience new things, maybe for people who don't ride yet, to start riding, maybe for people who are already very proficient at a certain discipline to become more proficient at that discipline or experience something new, or other people try different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. What's amazing about Cavago is that it's not just being able to ride, it's about being able to experience the joy and the love of horses. And some of our hosts actually offer tickets to watch horse shows, like Iguada Cartuja, one of the foundations of the Andalusian horse. Very, very special. It's like an iconic destination. And so really it's about being around horses and sharing this immersive journey of the horse culture, the global horse culture, each of them representing something unique about their respective geographies and histories. I think that's very special.
Yeah, so that's a thing that I'm personally very excited about, because I'm a traveler, and I think, you know, there's a way to, wherever you go, there is, if you love horses, there are horsey things to do. For example, I've been, you know, I'm from Switzerland myself, and I've been looking at Paris with Cavago. And I know Paris pretty well. I've been to Paris many times, and I know that there's horsey things to do in Paris. But when I really delved into it, I realized that you can be in Paris and do a different thing with horses every day of the week, every weekend of the year. You can experience so many things, and you don't even have to be a rider. You can go to shows, you can do horsemanship clinics, you can, there's a fantastic horse museum in Chantilly. You can go to the Louvre and look at all the ancient paintings, and so this this idea that wherever you go, you can find, you can click into the culture, into the local culture, and maybe take in one lesson. You know, maybe you're on business somewhere, and you have your Cavago app on your cell phone, and you look, oh, what's going on around there, and maybe go for a lesson, maybe stay for the weekend. Maybe you don't like horses yourself, and you have kids who are completely taken, you know, how those crazy horse kids are, and they drive you insane when you go to the beach because they want to ride and they're bored and you want to play golf or do something else. And you can find things for them. And that's the whole idea of Cavago, is wherever you are, whatever you do, look at the horsey things you can do.
Absolutely. I used to be one of those kids. I think I still am.
Me too.
And I know you feel the same, because there's only horse lovers or the other kind of people. And we're definitely horse lovers. So any horse experience, I still remember being in the backseat of my car, and as my parents would be driving anywhere, whether it's in Europe or in Saudi Arabia, where I formerly grew up. If I saw a horse, I would just be mesmerized, staring at that horse, wanting to go and find out about that place. I remember as a child, I had traveled to the US with my family, and I had found out about the Kellogg's Arabian Horse Stud in Pomona, California. And I was determined to go there, and I found out exactly how to get there. It was a 2-hour journey just to get there. And as a 12-year-old, I turned up, and I told them that I live in Saudi Arabia, but I really wanted to see many of the sons and daughters of Basque. Basque is probably one of the most famous Arabian horses from Poland, so he was a Polish Arabian. And I think their jaw dropped when they realized how did I know about this as a 12-year-old in a small city in Saudi Arabia? And so I was always horse obsessed. Whether we traveled as a family to Kenya or Malaysia or South Africa, wherever, I wanted to make sure that I was around horses or I got a chance to ride a horse in that local environment. Um, and so Cavago has been a dream that I've carried all my life. I think it has manifested itself by harnessing the kind of technology that we have available today through the use of a booking engine and of course platforming the business essentially. So I'm really fortunate to be able to kind of pioneer this this movement, if you will. Cavago is a lot more than a tech company, though. It's a horse company. It's for the horse world, by the horse world. And it's really a company that enables horse properties to use the best of this kind of tech to shine a torchlight on their wonderful experiences. Caroline, I think you and I both know that many horse businesses are really good at working in the business, but they're not always very good at working on the business. And I think that's one of the problems that we're trying to solve for.
Yeah, so yeah, it struck me that that a lot of the properties we talk to rely heavily on other people bringing guests to them, i.e., the equestrian travel agencies who are an industry that's been in activity for many years, and who offer great trips to all sorts of places all over the world. But we do that too. We also want people to come from far away and go discover new cultures. But we do much more as a company. So our goal is actually a little bit turned around. What we want is our hosts to be able to shine. Really, we want to show them. So you know, we want the little girl in Switzerland who's dreaming to ride an Andalusian horse in southern Spain, to be able to go on the app with her mom, or actually by herself these days, and find a place and be able to have that experience. So the way we're different than travel agencies is we want to offer people things to do with horses close to them and far away to them. We want them to try new things, and we want them to be able to improve in the things they already do, whatever that is. We want you to be able to find your regular yard, your run-of-the-mill great, local training, riding facility, so that you can train and prepare for your big endurance trip in Namibia, which, as for people who've been doing this can be very, very taxing physically. And if you don't train, if you just come there unprepared, you're not going to have a great time. So this is really more about a lifestyle, more about finding the best, the greatest possibilities of having horses in your life, one way or another, and especially in the way that suits each and every one of us and our guests. And I'll be the first to look around on Cavago on the internet to see what great things we can bring to our audience.
Absolutely. And Caroline, you're playing such a pivotal role, perhaps one of the most important roles in the company, which is the host experience. And I know you self-organize a lot of your work around a central statement, which is the customer experience can never exceed the host experience, because they're so important to us. So can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah.
So like I said, our goal is really to shine a light on the people who are joining us and who made us the honor of being on the Cavago platform. And the way we do that is we offer marketing services. We discuss with our hosts what products they have, what services rather than products, right, actually, what they have, and how we can adapt them to maybe a changing world. It's been incredibly heartbreaking this year to see so many of our hosts be completely cut off from their customer base. And some of them are in dire straits. Some of them have had to call for help to feed their horses, and it's really heartbreaking. And with those people, we're trying to find solutions to bring them customers within their country. The way Cavago is set up, we're perfectly capable of shining a light on those hosts again to people who are very close to them, who maybe don't even know they exist, because it's a fallacy to think that, everybody around me has heard about me as a host. That's not the way it is, and we're trying to help with that. We also have conversations with our hosts where we define their offers that work for them. So we look at the horses they have, the skills they have, maybe the trainers they have. And in my work with hosts, the amazing thing is I have actually already been able to make suggestions, things I learned from other hosts, to some of the people who work with us. The whole idea of Cavago is to be able to learn from this community and share this knowledge that we have with our partners, with these very important people without whom Cavago would be absolutely nothing. It's those facilities or those service providers, those hosts we call them, who bring those wonderful experience to our guests. And the modern technology helps us actually learn about trends and new things going on, things that may be fashionable, that one or the other host could latch on because that fits their own operation. We can understand where guests are coming from. We can understand where people are looking for certain things. So when they search for certain things, we know where there's pools of guests that we could maybe tap into through our marketing people. We can reach and bring to some of our hosts, and all this learning that we're set up to do. The whole idea is to share it with our partners, with our hosts, in order for their own businesses to be more resilient, to be healthier, and frankly to work better. And one other thing I really would like to say is this idea of the share of the pie. We're not interested in having hosts have a bigger share of the pie than the other, or things like that, or Cavago having a bigger share of the pie. What we want is to increase the size of the pie. We want more people to ride. We want people who already ride to ride more. We want people who love horses to do more things with horses. We want non-riders to have access to experience that will inspire them, even if they don't ride. It can be go to a horse rescue and learn how to groom a horse. I mean, it can be so many things, and we all know that these incredible animals inspire people who love them, and our job is to help those experiences grow and develop.
It's interesting you say that. I often say that the contribution of the horse industry around the world is enormous, and sometimes it falls outside of our field of view because many of us perhaps live in cities, and so we don't necessarily see a horse facility near us. But the economic contribution around the world is huge. I mean, in China, it's one of the fastest growing markets with One study said that in the last 7 years, the number of horse facilities has grown by 1,500%. It's unprecedented. In Australia, it's only 14%. Its GDP contribution is only 14% less than the livestock industry. And then in the UK, more people are employed in the horse industry vis-a-vis agriculture. And of course, in the United States, there are the most number of horses around the world, more than 9 million horses. So I often say that the horse industry is really a giant hiding in plain sight. For us to be able to use tech in this way allows us to not only harness the horse industry, but be able to use data, analytics, insights to really enhance the position of the horse world. Whether you're a casual rider, a performance rider, whether you just love horses, or perhaps you're a lapsed rider, someone who perhaps used to ride and has stopped riding because life gets in the way, right? And how do you now come back to horses? And I think the potential of that is untapped, and it's extraordinary. And I think horse facilities that work with us begin to benefit by allowing us to help them navigate their businesses and reducing the kind of risks that they're exposed to. And of course, COVID is a very big litmus test of that. And we're seeing those adaptations on site. And as Cavago, we're a startup here to stay. And we've already made an impact on several of our hosts, and we'll continue to prioritize them. And of course, under your leadership and direction, I think we're in good hands to succeed there.
Yeah, because horse people are incredibly diverse. They're absolutely everywhere. They're of all ages and all kinds, and all mostly, all income levels. And the fact that, for me, it makes me giddy to think that you can actually have all these possibilities in your pocket with our app, and maybe sit on a hay bale at the barn after mucking your stalls and dreaming about going somewhere else or learning something extra, and at the same time maybe receive a voucher for your reservation for your next ride on Cavago. So the fact that you can be both a provider and a consumer of Cavago services. The fact that we come at it from both sides really on our platform makes me super excited.
Caroline, with so many hosts, I remember looking at several of them around the world. The cost of actually managing a horse facility and maintaining horses, keeping them healthy and going, is often enormous. And sometimes many horse facilities have their backs to the wall to ensure that their facility is running smoothly. And they rely on a steady stream of riders or guests to be able to utilize their services. And with so many horses in need of care and so many people who love horses, Cavago is really designed to help both of these audiences meet. So it is a platform designed to be for the horse world, by the horse world, and a platform that harnesses technology to help these communities. So for us as Cavago, the big dream is to bring these communities closer together, no matter what discipline you ride, whether it's English, Western, whether you ride a Mongolian horse, whether you ride a Peruvian horse, Andalusian, etc. We're all horse lovers first. And we're a homogenous community that come together because of these magnificent creatures. And for us, it's to be able to celebrate that horse world and offer the best opportunity for many of our hosts, not only to succeed or survive in some cases, but to thrive through the Cavago platform. And so many of our hosts are beginning to see those advantages. And so it is truly a platform designed to be for the horse world, by the horse world. Caroline, it's always wonderful speaking to you. I'm so delighted that you've been a part of this journey. You've not only been a colleague, a confidant, a trusted advisor, but a dear friend and someone who will be a part of this journey for years to come. And as we see Cavago succeed and help our hosts and bring this global horse community together and celebrate so many different horses around the world, I truly cannot thank you enough to be a part of this journey and to play the role that you have been playing, and more importantly, the role that you'll be playing going forward to help these hosts around the world to achieve their full potential. Honestly, the sky is the limit here. And with that, I'd love to say, may the horse be with you.
And with you. Thank you very much for your kind words. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can subscribe now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Or you can write to us at support@mycavago.com. That's support@mycavago.com. Thank you for listening in. We can't wait to hear from you. May the horse be with you.